there, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a good day. 3 uploads today. I like 3 upload days. Do bits. But it could be 4 or 5 today. Genuinely, there's been that much coming out. You've had basically the briefing of all briefings starting going off. It looks like everybody's had a paste in today. Do you know what it probably is? All the journalists got back from work and they've gone, right, let me bang out some text. And he's like, this guy's picked up a bit, this guy's picked up a bit, this guy's picked up a bit. Everyone's had a little bit of a paste. Then Ten Hag obviously sits down and chats to the media and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Andrew says, so, got back from Germany today, made 3 videos, we'll do this, then straight to training. Probably got to find time for the defender to break down as well. Well, the oil light has come on, if anyone's asking. I actually need a top up, because they do just leak, don't they? There's also another video, which hasn't gone out yet, which we've done today as well. I did a Q&A today as well, so there's a shitload of videos coming out today. Yeah, I've got to get to training. I have got a demo from a... I can't remember the name of the company now. There's a company coming down to give us a demo on, do you know the little bounce boards that you get? Just a rebound board. But these are electronic rebound boards that have a light in them. And I think they come as like a set of 4. So you get in the middle of the 4, and then obviously the lights start coming on, and you've got to like touch, turn, touch, turn. Looks pretty sick. They're coming down to training to give us a demo. So I've got to get to training just a little bit earlier to go and get a demo off these boys. Then we're going to go into some video from where it went completely tits up as we lost 5-0 at the weekend against a team 3 leagues higher than us. So, you know, it's like a League 2 team playing a Premier League team. It was expected, but it's disappointing still. And then we've got a 90-minute 11v11. So, busy old bastard day, lads. Yeah, woke up in Germany. We're finishing it in Hardwick. The stuff of dreams. Anyway, Ten Hag has been talking. And he's been bumping his old gums. And sounds very positive. I'm going to go through the quotes. I'll let you know my thoughts on it. And people in the comments saying, can you let us know what's going on about Lenny Euro? I already did that. There's a whole video on Lenny Euro. Like, I said, Lenny Euro, I believe, is open to Manchester United. That doesn't mean he's... I didn't sit here and go, listen, Lenny Euro is definitely going to sign. But I also think he might. I have no idea. I am not in the room with him. But I think there's a bit of a chance of this one coming off. So we will see. And I'll be very happy if he does. Like I said, I put him in my video a couple of weeks ago. Was it last week maybe? Because it's one that I can see happening. So just trust to stay. We'll see if it comes off. I'll be very happy if it does. I say trust to stay like I've got any fucking sway in how this goes down. But, you know, I think United are in the mix because they're in the mix. Simple as that. Right, then, let's go in here. Jed's Dead Baby says, I think you're wrong, Steve. Well, you know, it could happen. Ten Hag has spoken about a new energy at Carrington. He says United, as United are gearing up for first full season since the confirmation of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's investment into the club. Obviously, we had the contract extension activated. It's not a new contract. It's basically that kicker of a year that was already in his existing contract. And I might do a full video looking into that one anyways. How many euros are paying for euros again? Good shot. Well played. Brian says, genuinely more excited about this season than I've been over the past few years. INEOS doing bits. We'll see. We'll see how it goes on, innit? But the manager said he's highly ambitious for the years ahead. And he's given a full-length interview, obviously, since coming out with that contract extension. So I'll go into quotes. Won an FA Cup, won a Carabao Cup. We also have high expectations of ourselves. We know it doesn't come overnight. We have to work for it. We are highly ambitious. So we have to raise the standards day by day and improve every day. Every time we have to live with the line in our heads. Good is not good enough. We have to do better. It's not really saying a lot there. It's the sort of, you know, quite easy throwaway line that you would expect to say. He's not put a straight target on doing the league, at least in that section. So nothing wrong with that. Yeah, he's right. We have won some things, but it isn't enough. You know, where we came in the league last year was absolutely not good enough. So we have to improve. No 2 ways around it. And I think if he doesn't improve, and that I think might require Champions... Again, I think it depends on the circumstances. If the squad is decimated and it's out of his hands, yeah, I mean, you might look into, okay, so why is the squad getting decimated? If they all happened on, like, international duty, you couldn't pin the blame on Ten Hag. It'd be unfortunate, wouldn't it? But otherwise, if there's not exceptional circumstances, I think he'll have to get Champions League to keep his job. Stoyan says, De Ligt is too slow for the Prem. I don't think he's too slow for the Prem, to be honest with you. Ben says, have I watched any of the Copa America? Would love to see a scout report on some players similar to the Euro ones to watch. Cheers. I haven't had a chance to catch any of the Copa America, actually, no, and I'm a bit disappointed in myself for it, but yeah, I haven't managed to catch any of it. Then on INEOS, he says, I'm here now for 2 years. As I said, I came here to win titles, trophies. We won 2 trophies after a dry spell of 6 years, so we're in a good direction. I think that's actually worth remembering, by the way. Now the new ownership coming in, they can help us. They're very supportive. We've made a process which we've constructed across the summer, and we're in a very good position, a very strong position to go and attack. We are so pleased that around the football, around the first team, we have a strong structure that will help us. They are really supportive and will help us in many ways, like in scouting and recruitment, like in the departments of medical and performance. And those 4 singular departments, by fuck, do they need revolution, improvement, restarting, don't they? I mean, you could really make a massive difference in scouting, recruitment, medical and performance at United. So the bar can get raised in those areas, and you don't know the knock-on effect that will go and have. When he's talking performance, I think he's talking performance analysis, I think. And it looks like Ruud van Nistelrooy is probably going to become a United coach, doesn't it? Unless the confirmation has happened and I've just not seen it. Being spotted walking around Manchester, a little bit on top of that if he wasn't coming, isn't it? So I'm expecting that one's probably going to happen. Stoyan says, Steve, that's why Rio doesn't rate him. How are we going to play a high line with De Ligt? What the fuck do you think Erik ten Hag played when De Ligt was playing for him? You're acting like he's another Maguire. He's nothing like, at all like that. And he's not that slow. I don't know why it comes. I know, listen, you are right in saying Rio doesn't rate him. We had this conversation on Sunday, I think, and Rio wasn't having him. And I said, we was going to talk about it on the podcast yesterday. And I said, save it. Let's just do a video just on that, because we had different points on there. And it's not like, here's one point and here's his point and he's right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and he's wrong. There was different angles to what we were both sort of saying. And I think it would be interesting. Stoyan says, this is not Holland. No, okay, you're right. It's not Holland. But what, are they not quick players in Holland? Do they not transition fast in Holland? Did he not excel in the Champions League defending on the halfway line? Come on, man. Abhinav says, Steve, do you feel responsible pushing Paul Mitchell away to Newcastle to get away from you? Maybe. Somewhat. Matt says, I lose brain cells watching England. That's probably for the best. Ben says, could we see Anthony go out on loan next season? I can't see him happy knocking around on a bench. I think it might have to be a loan, you know. People saying that someone's just looking at his pace on FIFA. Is Euro's ceiling as high as Maguire's? What, in his apartment? Because if you're talking about his football ability ceiling, it far exceeds. Like, this is a new Varane you're talking about here. Honestly. Faddy says, out of nowhere, isn't it weird that De Gea's still without a team? 1,000,000%. Matthew says, the Premier League being a quick league is slowly becoming a myth with this slow, methodical way Pep has convinced the world to play. NT says he plays for Bayern. They're not exactly defending with their whole back line in their own box. Notch says, intelligent position and anticipation can overcome speed to an extent, if not massively. Yeah, I mean, in terms of his awareness, the guy's constantly scanning. Antonio said, so the Lenny Euro bid is accepted is legit. So what's funny is I spoke to Laurie earlier, and I sent him one of the screenshots of one of the reports, and Laurie replied saying, not sure that the bid's been accepted. I think they might have jumped the gun a little bit on the bid. And then he texted me back saying, oh, looks like that might have been incorrect. So I'm guessing that means it's actually been accepted, and that is actually quite legit. I mean, the Athletic, and in particular Ornstein, have absolutely fucking destroyed this window, haven't they, in terms of the credibility from them. Ben says, could the signing of Euro and De Ligt give us flexibility to play free at the back? Potentially. I don't think he wants to play a straight... I think three at the back... This is going to sound nuts because it's. I don't actually know how to articulate what I'm trying to say here. I'm going to say three at the back is rigid, and it's obviously not rigid. The whole benefit of a three at the back is that it can be a little bit more versatile than some other formations. But I think the 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 kind of hybrid that we're going to, I assume we're going to play, gives you lots of other options. And I think when you have two dedicated centre-halves and then fullbacks who are multi-rolled, they can occupy a lot more different spaces than centre-halves as a three can occupy. And I think you get a lot more potential offence out of a back four than you get out of a back three, if that makes sense. I hope I said that in the way that it makes sense in my own head and that you got what I'm trying to grab here. Stoyan says, Donny was also part of Erik's system, but he was too slow for the Prem, and I truly believe speed was the problem. Always late for the ball. Get De Ligt, we'll talk again. Fine. But also, you got to remember, when Donny arrived, it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team. And he's basically been stagnant because he couldn't get into whatever team. He didn't look fit, but also he wasn't getting into the team. He was asked to play a different role because Bruno was playing the role that Donny van der Beek wanted to play, or effectively played. So it's different. Was Carrick better than Scholes? No. Who would be my three at the back if we signed Euro? I wouldn't play three at the back. Maury said, interesting bit about the Copper is the field sizes were smaller than usual, but still in regulation. Some countries, of course, using this as a reason for them losing, only relevant because upcoming World Cup is USA. Yeah, I saw some people moaning about how much the smaller the pitches were. And that's the thing, is pitch size in football has got enormous variation. And even to be within the regulation, it's enormously varied. Enormously varied. And you can have very, very different pitch sizes. Ado Max says, hi Steve, can you recommend any football books? Bought the Barcelona Legacy after you mentioned it last week. How are you getting on with it? Because I think that is one of my favourite football books. There's one up there that's well good. It's the one on the very top there, actually. It's the orange one. It's called Brilliant Orange. Is it David Winner? Yeah, by David Winner. Brilliant Orange. It's about Dutch football. That one's an absolutely sensational one. These are good. If you depends how nerdy you are, right? If you're fucking super nerdy, there's 3 volumes of this, right? Called "Changing the Conversation" by 21st Club. You'll probably find them on Amazon, and they're like it's like, so that is one essay. What would that be? Not even 1,000 words, probably. That's just 2 pages, one essay, real short, just information bites. So controlling the uncontrollable, talking about percentages of games with over 2.5 goals, under 2.5 goals, the average, just keeping games tight as an underdog, and helping you with, like, and it just gives you a bit of an explanation about all that sort of stuff. Give another one. Apples to Apples, European Golden Boot is an annual award recognising the best goal scorer in European club football, initially awarded every season to the player who scored the most goals in Europe's first divisions. Early winners were a mix of household names, such as Van Basten, and then relative unknowns, like Sotris Kayafas in 91. The award was cancelled over the Cypriot player missing out on the award despite scoring more goals than the actual winner, because they changed the rules about what counted and stuff, and they went to all of the big leagues, or ones with UEFA coefficient, high UEFA coefficient leagues. It's just real interesting tidbits of information, bad nerdy shit like that. And like I said, there's 3 volumes talking about high frequency of buying and selling players. This one's referencing Clive Woodward's mantras as England rugby coach. Again, just a single page essay. Real fucking good, real interesting. That one's a great one. Otherwise, historical sort of Historical biographies I really enjoy as well. There's a couple of real good ones here, actually. This one's about training only 2-3 days a week, so perfect for any grassroots coach. By Alvaro Bracamonte. Fit and Proper People, as a someone running a football club. This one's a good. The Rise and Fall of Owner FC, which was an app-based football club that basically was a fucking complete and utter shit show. And they were in leagues that they weren't really in and stuff. Interesting. But yeah, it depends what you're looking for. See what you can see. United Crowd said Netherlands going to be super hard. I think they're both going to play off the back foot to a certain degree. Did I get any time with Keno or just a photo? A sentence or two, maybe, really. It was okay. I mean, I got it with thanks to Micah Richards, actually. So the video I did yesterday on Toby Collier, if I'd have kept it running for 30 seconds, Roy Keane would have crashed the video because he came up the stairs behind me as I was shooting that video. If you skip to the end of the video, you'll start to see people coming up the stairs behind me. So I'm sitting on the table. There's 4 seats at my table. Micah comes and sits directly opposite me. And then Gary Neville came and sat on the next table, but next to us. And then Roy Keane sat there with Jill, Mendieta, a couple of others. And he was just chatting to Micah. And I thought, this feels like an opportune moment. So steamed in there and get him. Did I get a chance to meet Wolverine and Deadpool? Yeah, but no chance to talk. You've never seen an entourage rolling as deep as they did. Am I doing a match preview for both the semi-final fixtures? No, I don't think so. I'm not going to have time. Seeing as though one's in a couple of hours, and all of my editors have gone home. So no. Arjun says, Steve, what do I think of Mainu not playing the long balls or the diags? Is that something that he has in his arsenal, or is it something he needs to develop? I think it is something you can develop. Yeah, I think it is something you can develop. And I think he's got the vision for it. And it'd be nice to see him play those balls because those can be really effective and dangerous. Did I talk to Roy Keane about rugby? No. Someone messaged me that or commented that on the photograph. And I was like, fucking hell, it's actually something I would really like to know from Roy Keane. Larry says, is it better United are going for younger players at a better price at the risk of misses than Galacticos? Yes, I think so. Ronnie's in a comment saying, Steve, what do I think of Man City getting 20 million for Liam Delap from Ipswich? 11 goals in 68 games on loan in the Championship. Who's doing City's negotiating? And is it, well, let's be honest here, it probably is real now. They're getting investigated that much. It probably is legit. But isn't it mad? Has the interest in Ugarte cooled? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not sure. I don't know if the Copa America's playing a bit of a hand in that. I'm not sure. Miles says Keane has a face with subtitles. That was fun that yesterday. ITV versus BBC. That was fun. It was fun to go down and have a look. Like I think I mentioned on one of the videos, Roy Keane, Erik Cantona, David Beckham, probably the only 3 players on the fucking planet that would make me go, oh my god. Maybe R9 as well, if I'm being real. But most players, they're just blokes really at the end of the day. But those, I don't know. Maybe because I just fell in love with them when I was a fucking kid and I haven't been able to, I've not grown out of seeing them as a kid kind of thing. I don't know, maybe there's something in that perhaps. But yeah, those are the ones that would fucking absolutely turn me to fucking dust, I think. Brian says, rude announcement, waiting on a work permit. Nice. Michael says, Ugarte probably cool because he's not going to speak to any clubs while busy at the Copper. Well, no, but also agent would be dealing with that sort of shit as well. James says, any chance of a left back that can play 30, 40 games? Do you know what I mean? Ollie says, Fab says, still very much on between United and talks very much still on between United and PSG. Yeah, I wonder if we get him on loan. I think, so I was talking about the Chilwell one yesterday. And I think people massively understood what I was sort of saying. If he's available for like super, super cheap or on loan, I don't see the risk. Because if he's good, well, you've scored, haven't you? And if he's not, well, you've gambled, haven't you? me and my best mate and still have a photo of him on your windowsill all night. Yeah, I mean, he's behind the blind. But yeah. Did I hear what Roy said to Jill about spending 2 hours with the makeup staff and didn't make any difference? I saw Jill play yesterday. She can play. She can play. Honestly, Jules Loren absolutely balled out. He was unreal. It was good. Miles says, unrealistic, but I'd love us to hijack the Calafiori deal. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Better than Branthwaite and gives us a cover at fullback too. Xerxes build-up play huge for Rashford. Yeah, I think people are talking like he's going to replace Højlund. I just think it's just an extra members. In 15 or 16 to get a good starting 11 out, so don't worry about it. Mr. C says the fact Euro may not play regularly at Madrid should be a big part of Ashworth and Vival's convincing argument for him to come to United. I think with the injuries at United, I think signing one like Euro, who's a bit of a potential, and someone that's a little bit injured, he would play, wouldn't he? He would just play, and every week you got 2 out of them 3 are playing. Yeah, he'd play. Raf says the journalist Julian Laurent, yeah, he came out on the piss with us on Sunday. We had a fucking right good sup on Sunday. About 8 hours in the sun, just talking absolute mad shit. It was me, Rio, Janice, and Owen Hargreaves, Rio's agent Jake, for like fucking 8 hours or something, and then last hour or something, I'm fucking bowling back and forward between the toilet, and Jules Loren fucking pops out. He's like, "Oh, Steve, hello," and then we fucking dragged him over and. Yeah, we was quizzing about Euro actually as well, and he likened him to Saliba a little bit, but he seemed to think he was going to Madrid, or he seemed to think that Madrid had the upper hand in getting him. Uptown says the copper has been awful unless you like endless fouling. AJ says, would you give Evans another year or shake his hand and let him go? I think on performances last year, how the fuck could you let him go? If you go, listen, you're going to play like less than 10 games, here's a deal, I think you'd snap your arm off, to be honest. NT says, imagine Euro and Garnacho both help us to win our first title since 2013 and they both head off together to Real. That would be a bit crap, but I'd take it, I think. Oof. T to the Izzo says, can only remember Fergie making one loan signing. Mad that half our business now has been loans. What a mess of a club. 1, mess of a club. 2, mess of a fucking transfer market. And 3, just so much madness in terms of loans and that. What's the brand of the cap? Through that, I've had a lot of questions asking about the brand of the cap. Are they that fucking popular? Wowzers. Of the famous players I've met, who's been the biggest name that knew who you were? Rooney. That one was a bit... I don't think Roy Keane did. I don't think so, at least, anyway. I had a fairly long chat with Nev. But I've known Gary for a while, so that's happy days. But yeah, I think Nev knows who I am. But yeah, Rooney was the one that I was like, this is weird. But I mean, I'm standing with Ash, who obviously he played with. I'm chatting to Gary Lineker, who obviously he knows. And it was only when I asked Rio afterwards, because I said, fucking Rooney came up to us and spoke in a way where it was kind of like, it felt like he knew who I was, but I wouldn't ever want to presume that Wayne Rooney knows who the fuck I am. But the way he came over and he was just like, Derby Bird, can you tell? And you're like, that's not what you fucking... and you're like, oh, that was weird. So I said to Rio, like, does Rooney watch us? And he goes, yeah, he watches every fucking episode. And he was like, oh, okay. So I wonder who does watch that doesn't fucking say anything. I mean... That'd be an interesting one, to find out who actually watches. Ugarte, sign outright or loan or buy. I'm getting the vibes that we're going to loan him. I think that's what's going to happen. Or loan with a fee, maybe, something like that. Abhinav says, what does Rooney think about the aliens, the way he talked to you? Honestly, the amount of times I've said to Ash, get fucking Rooney in here. Because I need to know what Wayne Rooney thinks about aliens. And from everything I know about Rooney, I think he'd fucking chat to us about it. I do. I think you would. I think that would. Can you imagine the fucking numbers that would do? Also, people just absolutely wigging out. If he came on Heads Go with me and Ash, people just fucking wigging out. I don't know. Maybe Rooney's thoughts on aliens are too raw to be heard. Notch says they've probably seen you on 5. We got to think, yeah. So we do reels of every single episode that we do on Rio's thingy. So if they follow Rio on Instagram, there's a very good chance they've seen us, even if they don't necessarily know who we are. Like Aaron Wan-Bissaka was like going, "Why do I know your face? What's your name?" And I was laughing at him, and he was just like, "No, seriously, what's your fucking name?" So he obviously didn't know. I met Varane with Bruno at the pre-season last year, and Varane didn't have a fucking clue. Met Casemiro at the FIFA Best Awards. I don't think he had a fucking clue. And then there's ones that you definitely know watch, like Delo we know watches. He DMs the fucking page and stuff. So yeah, it's one of them, innit? Do I think we should re-sign Amrabat? The money's right. I don't think that'd be a drama. We need so much of a fucking turnaround that you can sign loads of players and still not be anywhere near challenging. AJ Wright says, is Garnacho better than Greenwood was when he last played for us, and who has or had the higher ceiling? And being real, I think Greenwood was always the better player and always had the higher ceiling. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate the situation that he finds himself in, but it is what it is. Can I imagine the meltdown if Rooney enjoys Nick Cage shenanigans? Oh yeah, we might be fighting. But have you seen the trailer for Gladiator 2? Jesus Christ. Honestly. Wazza on the flagship show on 5 just makes sense. Yeah. He's been fucking brilliant, hasn't he, on the overlap? Like, genuinely. He's just been one of the lads. And from what I can gather, he's one of the lads. Ant says, is my head still gone with us acting like a proper club yet? Mine's right up my ass. I think we've got to get the signings done, and we'll see where we are. Come the end of the window, we'll do a review and say, right, okay, did we actually act like a big club, or do we make a lot of noise like a big club? Did I meet Marcus anytime? Yeah, loads of times. Abhinav says, Nick Cage had to put on layers of makeup for long legs so people wouldn't see him act. Keith says, glad the Greenwood situation's being resolved best way possible. Honestly, wish he wasn't allowed to play football again. Strong. Probably too strong. We were talking about this the other night, actually. You know, there's been a lot of footballers in a lot of shit, but Greenwood's situation feels like he's being treated differently to some of those that have, you know, Gaza battered his missus and was all over the front page of, I think it was the Sun. Was it in the 9? Was it like 98 maybe or something, sometime around then? I don't remember the calls for this to happen like that. Is it because of social media? Is it because that things happened on social media? Evidence was posted on social media. Does that change it? Should it change it? It is different, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong to be different. I'm just stating the fact that it's 100% different. Ant says Rooney comes across as quite intense even now. No, I don't think he does. I thought he was quite easy, to be honest. Although I have seen him since he's gone to Plymouth at training briefly, and I think he does look a little bit intense with the team. I genuinely think he must love being a manager, because going to Plymouth is a madness. But he obviously loves being a manager. Have I met Phil Jones? Yeah. I don't think we spoke, though. Nathan says, different times now. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. You know, we said Roy Keane got arrested the week of the fucking FA Cup final in 1999. Fergie had to go... And by the way, Fergie went to the fucking police station. Can you imagine that now? Insane. Do I think there's a way back for Sancho? Nope. Any players or former players I've met that are Bells, Schmeichel. Loads of people that you think are Bells are not Bells. Like, I was not excited about Owen Hargreaves coming out on the piss the other day. Because all I get to do is just watch him on BBC, or sorry, BT Sport, and I go, a bit dry. But was fucking sound on the smash. Was like genuinely like great company. And has got some good yarns as well, especially from, you know, things that went off in Germany while he was in Germany and that as well, and things that went and happened in Manchester. And him and Rio have obviously got a bit of a shared thing with England that they were talking about as well. And Jenas gets pelters online, doesn't he? And I hung out with Jenas at the World Cup a few years ago in Qatar, and I just thought he's actually fucking double mega sound. And I saw him on telly the other day. I said, "Oh fucking hell, when did you get here?" And he said he's been doing commentary for the whole thing, but I haven't been watching it all with with audio. So he's like, "So you're not been listening to my commentary then?" I was like, "No, I haven't actually." But then, yeah, had a good old fucking had a good look at it on Sunday. It was good. I was in fucking World of Hurt yesterday when I got up. Yeah, Genesis is good people. Ado says, I'm 4 chapters in. I think this is the Barcelona legacy. I like the way he's weaving Jose into the story. I'm a nerd going to get changing the conversation. Yeah, it's a fucking great one. It is a great one. Abhinav says, you did contribute to the pelt that Jenna got for his commentary. Yeah, and I fucking shown him and all. NC says, even though I love Rio as a player, I always thought he might be a bit of a bell in person, but from what I've seen of him post his United career, he seems like a great guy. He's well chill. He's proper chill. And he's a genuine people connector. I've never seen anyone like be on top of so many social sort of situations and connecting people. Like that's just what he's about. And I can imagine that's what he was like as a player. You listen to some of the things that young players say about Rio as well, that he was always there for an advice or a help and all that sort of stuff. And I think that suits him now, sort of being a consultant at an agency and being able to do that sort of stuff with him. Because I just think it's very much his natural personality is just to fucking see, you know, what's going on with that. How are we linked to these players when we haven't sold anyone yet? We must be pretty sure of them going out. Colin says Michael Owen. Well, obviously Rio and Owen have played with Michael Owen, and they seem to think he was pretty fucking chill, which I was like not having in the slightest. But you know, I can only say what other people's opinion is. I don't know the guy. Ant says, actually, I reckon a night out with Cantona would be mental. You could just start in Money and end up naked in some steam room in Istanbul or some shit. Oh, fuck yeah. And you're doing it, aren't you? You're absolutely doing it. We're going to turn the king down. I don't fucking think so. Yeah, absolutely. All over that. All over that. I think Cantona would just be as happy doing that as some mad fucking Berlin rave as he would be sitting in a fucking pub in Cleethorpes. Can I recommend a good Cantona book? I don't think I could actually, no. Oh, actually, this is a very, 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 very good book that I do frequently go back to. Das Reboot, which talks about German football. That is fucking good. Keith says, I can't help but like Micah Richards. He just seems like a proper sound lad. Yeah, Micah's, it's a shame he's a fucking blue, and he hit me with the why I always made the other day, didn't he? Knob. But yeah, he's good. He was fucking mega in net, by the way, for the BBC ITV game. I think they should make such a big deal out of that game. Like, they should really make a big deal out of that game, but they didn't. Like, fucking hell. That looked epic, didn't it? Epic. Rich says, just read Schmeichel's book. His way of dealing with the pen shootout is probably my favourite. Oh, we have to share that. I don't know what that one is. Have I watched the Cantona interview with Stick to Football recently? Yeah, he's absolute legend. What's my thoughts on the women's team having to be shipped around to accommodate the men's team? And thoughts on Marriott moving to PSG? So I spoke to Mary at the Best Awards. Did she pick up again? I think she might have done. But she just won BBC Personality of the Year, hasn't she? Sports Personality of the Year. And I knew there was some issue with the contracts. So I don't know a lot about the women's game, but I knew there was an issue with the contract situation with Mary Earp. So I asked, us like, what's happening? And her answer, whatever it was at the time, it was something like, I'm gonna fuck it up, so I'm not gonna say, but it was. He got the it wasn't I'm leaving, but it wasn't an I'm staying either, and it was kind of like it's very much a possibility that she goes here, and there was talk of her going Arsenal at the time, wasn't there? And I was like, that's gonna fucking suck, innit? But I think they're not highly paid in the slightest. It is an extremely short career, and when you see the women's team have won the FA Cup, the 18s have won the fucking lot. Even the first team ended up winning the FA Cup, but they've cancelled the awards night because the first team are bad. Well, how could you not feel like a second-class citizen as a United women's player? How could you not? When you're doing what you're supposed to do, winning stuff. And you've seen not only Casey Stoney, the manager, a couple of years ago, leave, but consistently, the best players. United have had some of the best fucking players in world football in that women's team, and they just go. They just leave. They go somewhere else. And you just think, that's because of poor management and a lack of care. Because you could put a couple of mil into the women's team, and it'd be worth it for the PR alone. It's nothing on that balance sheet. We probably spent more on fucking Joel Glazer's fucking back sack and crack waxing. Like, it's pathetic. It'd be such an easy fucking win to support that women's team. And guess what? It carries the fucking badge. It carries the same fucking sponsor as the one on the front of the men's shirts. And what a better presentation it is when you walk into a presentation with the fucking future sponsors that you're going to deal with, and you're like, kids are kicking ass, chicks are kicking ass, men's team's kicking ass, we kick ass, what we fucking do. Sign down a dotted line, it's loads. Like, it's just fucking shit management, innit? And moving them out of something that so they made a bit of a big deal about moving them into this new facility, which does look quite nice. Not quite fucking, AAA star, but it's pretty nice. It feels like you probably shouldn't have moved them in there until after this was done. Because giving it them and taking it away is going to feel worse than if they didn't have it. If you'd have left them in the facilities that they were in, move the men around to do what they need to do while you do whatever you're doing with the training ground, and then make it nice for the women and move them in, that would have felt better and progressive rather than the bullshit that you've ended up dealing. Who wins a Royal Rumble with all the paddock lads? My money's on Ethan. Genuinely, Ethan's going out of the ring first. James says, yeah, it's tough, you're right. Jim definitely answered that question wrong in that interview. Miles said, we had a player score a winner at a World Cup final. I felt like we did nothing about it. Ant says, must be honest, if it were me, I'd have made the first team act as waiters for the youth and the ladies for the night. Oh, yeah, or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Ant says, what's wrong with renovating the cliff and giving it to the ladies? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Give me a reason why not. It's got a gym, it's got a canteen, it's got history, it's got heritage, it's got fucking real special going on, hasn't it? And then it needs an upgrade. Now, I could understand if you wanted to keep the history and the flavour of the place, that's fine. Make it fit for purpose, because some of the fucking wood is crumbling. So fix it. Fix it up. Keep it looking the same, fix it up. Move the ladies in there. There you go. The cliff. It was good enough to win the treble out of. It was good enough to bring through George Best, Duncan Edwards, Bobby Charlton. It's where Robbo trained. It's a good spot. It's better than fucking Lee. You could have absolutely done that. But, it is one of those, isn't it? The cliff has juju. That's the word I was looking for. Rich says, not sure why we are treating the women's team so poorly. They are way better than the men's team. I say, like, listen, I'm too busy doing my job and trying to then watch fucking lunatics in South American football, then trying to fucking figure out why Paddock have conceded this weekend and put on a good training session, which I'm wrapping up this in a minute because that's where I'm heading, to invest into watching the women's team. But I'll tune in if I catch it. I'm not just going to... I don't have any hate for the women's game or any snobbery about its women playing it. I have none of that. It's just I'm too busy invested in what I need to do to fucking complete my weeks to spend any time focusing on that sort of stuff on the women's side of the game. But if you're going to do it, I expect, like, Manchester United to me used to represent like excellence, the fucking best of the best of the best. Do it, and do it with your entire heart and mean it, and try and be the best at what you're doing, or don't fucking do it, because the half-assed effort is disrespectful. Do it and mean it, or fuck off. I think should be the thing that I'm trying to put across there. Abhinav says, won't the women move back into their facilities after the new Carrington is unveiled? Don't know. Dennis says, I'm absolutely agreeing with your take, but there is an argument. Our club's overall status was such a shambles to INEOS that they physically couldn't give a party. Would be accepting that. No, I think you have an opportunity. Like, the narrative is whatever you say the narrative is. The narrative is whatever you say the narrative is. You can say, do you know what? No, the men's team haven't earned the fucking party, but these have. So they're having a party. Or like someone said before, make the fucking lads work it. Am I in South Carolina? No, I fly home on the Friday before South Carolina because Paddock had a game. I am now banned, so I am not actually attending that game, but I've already booked my flight. Eon says, 100%, what the fuck are we at not using it properly? Even Keno was waxing lyrical about the cliff the other day. It's as much as part of United as Old Trafford. Facts. Twiz says, my daughter watches them religiously. How I watch the men's. It's so sad seeing treat like that. They're not part of Manchester United. The way it was done was tone deaf. I agree. Ash says, can both not occupy the same building, see clips of cities, men and women eating together, etc. Well, theirs is a new place, isn't it? So maybe it was thought of and built like that. It wasn't the same when Carrington was built. But I still think they could do something better, you know. James says, no mic to your assistant for the stands for the band game. Well, we are live streaming our games now, so if you're interested, you can actually live stream our games on Twitch. Paddock's games are on Twitch, so if you want to watch our matches, they will be on Twitch. Tonight's won't be because it's just training, but yeah. Does Paddock play any friendlies across the country, or is it just the Manchester area? We went down to Essex to play hashtag last summer, but no, pretty much just Manchester at the moment. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. So I need to... can we get you a disguise for the banned games? It's not worth the extra banning that I would inevitably get in it because I would definitely get clocked. So no, I'm probably going to watch it on an iPad somewhere. Giles says, Julian Loren played at a high level in Paris youth leagues before journalism. He'd be good to hear about that. Setup. One of the two reasons why Qatar bought PSG, other than the huge fan potential. The Paris youth leagues. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, actually. Yeah, it's not a bad shout, that, actually. He's, like I said, he's good people. I like him. He's a good hangout as well. So I've always got time for that. Don't trust people who are not good on the piss. When you have a night out, like, you know, you don't have to put everything on socials, right? And I know I'm a social media influencer, apparently, but not everything has to go on socials. The phones can stay on the table, and you can sit and have a fucking conversation with people, and it can be fucking fantastic. And it wasn't... I took one video, which I think is going to end up on Rio's vlog, so I don't mind fucking sharing that. And it's Rio eating a bowl of black beans. Beans. We was in a gaff that was serving fucking top drawer food, and Rio's eating a fucking plate of beans. You'll see it on his vlog at least anyway. But right, I'm out of here. Cheers for tuning in, as always. Don't know how many videos we get out tomorrow. Probably not fucking 3 or 4, but we'll see. Take it easy. Subscribe if you're new, and catch you in a bizzle. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.